I've watched Uppity Unicorn and how she was saying that she felt like the Cynthia G sector, the Nyla Says, and Woman Sphere decided to use her as a way to come together, basically, attacking her. And I just wanted to say, you can easily see that these people aren't black women empowerment. And I think this is a major thing for me. I never looked at those sectors as parts of platforms that I'd ever entertain, because you can see the toxicity of them and how they're not really for anyone, especially any black woman. They're for cutting your throat basically to get ahead, or just to dislike you for whatever reason. Sometimes I think some people are crabs in a barrel, and also some people will hate other people who have more than others. Say they think, someone has more attractive traits or has more appeal with men and so forth, they feel that's a threat. They will have aggression against that woman, I understand that, of course, Cynthia G. Nyla Says, women's sphere would be sectors that Uppity Unicorn would fit, I guess, more, and considering they seem similar in some regards. But, I guess maybe that's the difference with me, because I am divested, that, I wouldn't want to associate with that, or at least I'm in that sector, let's just say. I don't really see myself as divested, but a part of, that sector more so than their sector. But anyway, the thing is, I just kind of find it obvious, that they aren't for black women, And I think that's why, for me, I move accordingly to kind of treat them like that, basically. Treat them like they are someone that, is not going to uplift anything. They're not going to come together on anything. But it's more so, okay, we probably won't even agree on much, considering I'm opposing to them. So, I mean, I can talk about them in a dissenting manner. And some people have looked at that as if I was in favor of black men, which I'm not. It's not like I believe in a gender war or anything. I just think men and women are people and individuals. But yeah. But they thought I was I guess, against women or something. But that's not it. I just feel like those people are against women, especially women they perceive to have more potential than them. Personally, I just see that in them, and I kind of feel like, you should steer away from individuals like that, unless you become like this because you were at the mercy of these people, If you're not at the mercy of these people and you keep it at a negative, in a situation where, you're against them, they're against you kind of thing, then it works out pretty perfectly, But when you try to ask for acceptance from people who are most likely going to dislike you, reject you, attack you, to try to destroy you, you're leaving yourself open and vulnerable to be destroyed, And Women's Sphere, I do agree, some of her topics are very interesting. I understand why one would support her. I actually did at one point myself. But she specifically talks about how Women's Sphere blew up on her on a live chat. This is exactly what happened to me with Black Women's Sphere. And with Women's Sphere, I understood, okay, your topics might be good, but you have a problem with me, I'm going to treat you accordingly, basically. Because when you have an issue for no reason and you try to basically mask it for a reason, I understand that there's a reason you have an issue. You don't want to admit it because it must be a bad reason why you have an issue with me, basically, because you're not willing to say it out loud. And you are trying to make up a reason to dislike a person. You know what I mean? And back then, that's exactly what it was for me because I mean, like, I wasn't really well known and I didn't do anything at all to the Cynthia G crowd, the Nyla vibes. I didn't even know she existed. Women's Fear, I actually literally supported at that time. I think a year before, I did leave a comment on Cynthia G's page because, like I said, I do come from that, the spaces for divested black women a lot, and one of them specifically was basically roasting Cynthia G. And so I went over there and made a comment on her video against divested women. So, anyway, besides that, like I said, I never made any videos at that time against Cynthia G. I never talked about her. I didn't know Nyla Vibes existed, and Women's Sphere, I didn't make any comments about her either. But oh, sorry, that's just likes for my song. But anyway, so I just thought that was interesting that Uppity Unicorn was specifically talking about basically how she experienced this herself, where Woman's Fear basically came up with a reason to have an issue with her and tried to time her out, basically. I had not the same situation where she tried to time me out, but more so she just kept up a comment and wouldn't respond to any of my comments after that in the live chat. So, she is one to lie a lot on black women. Really honestly, it seems like she tries to get accepted by certain women, and that's it. Basically, that's her type. That's what she wants to be around. Every other black woman can kiss her ass, basically. That's what she's trying to tell you. So it's just kind of like, she's not very BWE friendly, I don't think. I think she's more in favor of the black woman that she feels in common with. Uppity Unicorn, I don't think Black Woman's Fear sees Uppity Unicorn as relatable. And that's a major reason why Woman's Fear was probably very happy to probably put Uppity Unicorn under the bus, and to attack her with the other two. Because you have to think, if you already have negative connotations against this person, and as she said in the live chat before all of this, she did have an issue with her. You have to see the signs. If someone's showing that they don't like you, take it as that and, move accordingly. Now, in some cases, there's some people that I have felt they don't like me because we're different. I've said some people, and I'm subscribed to their channels. I support their channels. I usually comment under their channels under a different account so they don't know it's me. But, when those type of situations happen, if it's just like, for example, there's one content creator that's like that. She's from New York, and she's just, from a different background than I am, basically. And sometimes I've talked to that person, and it would be like, oh, there's a problem because the way we communicate is very different. The way we are, it's very different, And since there's a difference, there seems to be that difference, That doesn't mean that I'm going to automatically think that that's a bad person just because they can't relate. You know what I mean? But when you make up reasons to dislike someone. You know what I mean? That's the problem. Like, if you just are like, we're communicating and there's a disconnect kind of like situation, you know, that's different. But if you're making up reasons and lying on people, that's a whole different thing, because you're not being an open and honest person. You're trying to connive and manipulate and lie about people. That's what I don't like. So, I mean, I think you can say that applies to all three of these people: Cynthia G, Nyla Vibes, and Woman Sphere. And you can see with these people, you hear a lot of the time the people with Cynthia G, many of them have an issue with women calling their show, basically. So, like Cynthia G, for one, I've heard people say that she doesn't want women to call her live because she feels like it takes away from the attention from her as a woman, and she wants black men to call because that's her preference and her interest, and she wants to be at the spotlight, you know. So when you see that's how they are, they don't really even care to conversate with women. They're not really interested in women, what they have to say, how they feel, or anything like that. It's all a grab for attention. I've always said this with Cynthia G, that most of her content is just a call out for male attention, basically. I would say Nyla Vibes is the same, but Nyla Vibes is different because Nyla Vibes is a copycat of Cynthia G. She says all the same words as Cynthia G. She talks about all the same topics as Cynthia G. She is not an original content creator. Woman's Sphere, you can see she does do that as well. But I don't think that's the only thing she does. I do think she does some parts where she likes to have some women that she has more of an association with, because those are the women she basically prefers to associate with, maybe because she relates to them better. But either way, to me, she fits the type of woman who naturally will hate a woman and dislike a woman without even knowing anything about her and making up reasons to dislike her, and basically trying to destroy her name and her reputation because she simply has a feeling she doesn't like her, you know. So that's all I have to say in this video. I just kind of, thought that this was interesting what Uppity was talking about, and just basically talking about how, you can't look for support from these people. You really can't. Even if you support their channels, it really doesn't work out for them. Because, if they don't like you, they're probably going to make up stuff about you. So then you look bad, because they don't want to look bad by trying to attack a black woman unwarranted, basically. So they make up reasons. Like, you could just avoid that woman. But no, you want to make up stuff. Like, that's just terrible. But yeah, that's all I have to say in this video. Thanks for watching, everyone. Like and subscribe, comment down below, and have a great day. Bye.